Hi students. I just thought I'd do a little short video here to give you a quick orientation of how our learning management system Canvas that you see in front of you works and how the MindTap portion of the class that goes with the textbook works. So I know that the first week can be really confusing, and those of you that are new to Canvas, it's definitely something you want to get used to, and also MindTap is probably something new to you. So let me go ahead and get started here. So I put the page on the home page, as you can see. So writing 0105 sentences and paragraph. And so this is what you see. There are a few ways of navigating, and the first one is you can go here, getting started, which is not obvious, and then you can navigate week by week, week 1, week 2, week 3, and so forth. So let's go that way. So let me click on Get Started. And then you have, this is like a pre-module if you want, introduction to the course, the guidelines, your syllabus, and then this is how, see how there's a little link icon here. This is where you would go to register for the MindTap portion of the class. This is where all your assignments are, and so it's very important, your book, your textbook. How to register, now it's just an attachment. This is just showing you that the pop-ups are required, so if you don't know how to do it, click here. Cengage technical support, anytime you have any kind of technical support, this is the way to do it. Okay, you just click on here and you follow step by step. And let me tell you, those guys are amazing. They get back to you very quickly and they will solve your problems. They also send me a ticket number right away, so I know that you have made the effort to try to solve the problems. I am not a techie, so I will gladly answer any questions about the class, but about writing. But when it comes to technical support, please contact Cengage themselves. Now, there are little things I can sort of fix because I have a lot of experience at it, but the way to do it is through Cengage technical support. They have an 8100 phone number 24/7. They are excellent and they're very kind, so please use it. Here is a little link that I put, introduce yourself to the class. It's kind of nice because, you know, we're going to be together for 8 weeks, and people, especially the discussion board, people are replying to your posts and all that. It's kind of nice to know where's everybody from and that kind of stuff. Makes it a little bit more personal because online classes are often very impersonal. So anyway, so that's the section getting started, and then we jump to the week 1. And as you can see, first, before we even get anywhere, I want to explain all these little icons here. When you see just a page like this with the folded corner, that's what it means. It means it's a page. So there's no point value. It's just going to be something that you're going to read. When you see this little icon, it means it's a quiz, that it'll be graded, but before we go any further, every single week you have a reflection kind of quiz. As you can see here, those are worth 0. These are just meant to see your recall. Like, do you remember what is a basic paragraph? So you have those in a lot of chapters, but don't worry. As soon as you see 0 point value, don't worry about it. You can do it if you want. You can skip it if you want. That's up to you. No point value. But what I want to point out is that this little rocket here means it's a quiz, okay? But this one is a quiz with 0 value. Now here, again, I have a page, so this is just reading. Doesn't mean it's not important, but it's reading. And then when you see those links, those are your external links that will take you to the MindTap portion, the Cengage, Evergreen textbook, okay? All your online exercise and everything, okay? And then when you see this type of icon, now it's a page, but there's also a pencil. That means it's an assignment, okay? The little pencil assignment. And you can see the point value right here, 16 points, okay? So again, you'll have little quizzes. There's a point value. Here it's 1 and 2, so 1 is worth 10 points and 2 is worth 10 points for a total of 20. And then you also have video quizzes, which are more frequent at the beginning of the semester and then become less and less with time. But those are super useful. They really help you comprehend better what was just taught in the book. Okay, and then so I think these are all the icons that you guys need to know. And then at the end of each week you have a discussion. So, I mean, it's due at the end of the week, but you should go to it at the beginning of the week so you know what's going on. But don't start getting on there until you have read all the material, because the discussion are always based on the skill that you have to do. The task that you have to solve is based on what we have just learned that week. So I appreciate people that are early in their submission, but don't go before you have read the material. Otherwise, you will not know what's expected of you. Okay? And then week 1, you do not have a writing assignment, but in further weeks, you will have to submit a type of paragraph, right? So those will be your 2 other assignments other than the ones that are online. Okay, let's go here. I'm gonna come back here. Well, before I jump to the next page, let me just finish with the canvas. So this was our home page, right? That's the look. Announcement is always a good place because you want to welcome to week 1, email etiquette, get to know your professor, week 1. So this obviously will have to be read after because you have survived week 1. And the syllabus, of course, you always want to know what we're going to learn. In the syllabus, you will also find all the rubrics, know how you're graded. So very valuable information. Now, my favorite button, this is just a personal thing, I prefer starting from modules. Modules is the same way as the home page, but I have a little bit more freedom. When I was from the home page, I had to go page after page after page, pushing the next page, next page. Here, I can just hop around as I please. So, as I explained in one of my in one of my email, it wasn't an email, it was an announcement. Personally, I would read so see how they're all numbered, right? 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So I would stay with 1 meaning the chapter and 1, 2, 3 meaning where in the chapter you're at. So remember here, it's just an introduction. So it's just reading. There's nothing to be graded here. And then you go to the next page. And then remember, this is the reflection quiz. So you can take it or you can skip it because the point value is 0. So up to you. Next. So now you have the learning objective, the course introduction, all those videos that I had to do when I was in the recording studio, and you have the written version of it. So the first week is a little bit heavy because we're trying to cover 4 chapters, but you do not have a writing assignment, so that makes up for it. And then this is where you would jump to the textbook, the external drive, the MindTap version. Okay, so this is your textbook right there, chapter 1. Let me go back here. I'll come back to this in a minute. So, like I said, I prefer being in module because it gives me more flexibility. And so I would start with chapter 1. I would learn, it all follows the same format. You learn, then you practice. Those are your homework, 16 point. And then you quiz yourself. So I would do chapter 1. Then I would do chapter 2, learn, practice, quiz. It's a lot easier than the video quizzes that are related to those 2 chapters. Then I would go chapter 3, learn, practice, quiz. Chapter 4, learn, practice, quiz. And the video quizzes that are related to those 2 chapters. All right, so I find this a little bit more flexible, so this is how I choose to orient myself. Another thing is that you see how you'll have a choice, but once you become very familiar with the MindTap, you don't always have to jump back into here. Like, okay, I'm finished learning here, so now I'm going to jump here and do the practice. You'll see that once you're inside MindTap, you can just stay there and it's a lot easier. All right, so let's go there. So we're in chapter 1. Now let me point out a couple of things. Here you have font sizes, so depending how big, like when I'm in the classroom, for example, I choose the biggest font because I want the students to be able to read at the front of the class. These are bookmarks, so just like you would use a bookmark in a real book, you can bookmark a page that is important that you think you might want to study. Obviously print, and then obviously your help button. Okay, then on this side here you have a bunch of icons. The ones that are important is my notes. In here I will have nothing, of course, because I haven't saved anything, but you can put you can input whatever you want to come back to it and study. Every time I want to click out of something, right here, click out of this, I'm back to where I was. This is not, and then this is one that I really like, the full book. So now I can go here and I have the full book. So it's really practical. Like let's say I'm in a quiz here and I want to refresh my memory. There's something I forgot, so I can just go chapters and go, okay, I'm in the quiz of chapter 1, I can go here, and I don't remember whatever information. So it's really good to have side by side. I use it a lot. So very practical. And I forgot to mention too, this button is if I want to have something read to me.
The writing process. Many people have the mistaken idea that good writers simply sit down and write out a perfect letter, paragraph, or essay from start.
So if, I don't know, you're in your car or you're on public transportation, you can still do your assignment and just listen to it. So I find this super useful because also sometimes I forget what chapter number was process. Oh, chapter 8, okay. Or you know, whatever questions you have, you forget where you're at in the book, so this is a very quick reference here. So this is one that I use a lot. And then this one, Study Hub, you can, again, whatever I highlight, I can put here. Whatever I bookmark will appear here. So for studying, this is very useful. Then this is your read speaker. I can choose the speed. I can choose if I want a male, female, British, Australian, whatever. So that's for that. And here are flashcards, again, for studying, very practical. So you have some that are pre-made for each chapter, or I will show you in a second, you can make your own card. So audience, what is that? I don't know. The reader of a piece of writing. Oh, cool. Okay, next card. What is the purpose? I don't know. The reason for writing. Oh, okay. So on. So very useful for studying. Of course, you have a dictionary. So I can type, oh, rhetorical. What is that? So, okay, well, that doesn't really help you. The word you've entered isn't in the dictionary. All right, rhetorical, that's interesting. Narration. There we go. So, a narrational, like, so I can find all kinds of information. Narrating, the act or process, instance of narrating. So that's a really good feature. The glossary is a good feature. Any terms that you encounter in the book. I don't know what an adverb is, so on. And then you have the alphabetical list here. And then the last one is probably your progress. So I think I can safely go there because I don't think anybody has done anything. Perfect. Oh, wow, nobody's enrolled yet. You guys got to make sure you enroll. So usually I would see all of you guys' name and your grades for everything. So this is a regular grade book where I would see chapter 1 practice, chapter 1 quiz, everything would be here. But I can also look at it in analytic mode, which would show me how much time you spend and all that. So for me, this is really a good view because I know if you have spent the time in it or not. So it really helps me figure out the effort you're putting in there. And the roster, obviously, I'm not seeing anybody because none of you are registered yet. So perfect. So let's click out of here. And so there's your chapter. So just like if it was a regular book, I can turn the page here. I can go here, the introduction, turn the page, the writing process, turn the page, and sometimes don't be too quick to click to turn the page when you see the scroll. So sometimes the page is a little bit longer than what it appears, right? And a lot of time there will be some practices that are worth some points, so you want to make sure you don't miss those. And like this, and like that, and then your key terms. And like I said, if I don't know what is the audience, the reader of a piece of writing. All right, so remember, I can have it read to me, I can choose my font, I can bookmark it. I'm finished with this chapter, so I click out. So now let me go. Oh, so you have two views. So this view shows you, see here, it's the calendar. So Sunday the 10th, what should you be doing? And then your due dates will be here, week 1, week 2, etc. I prefer this list. And so do you see how you have Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4? Inside of each unit are several chapters. So the way you do this is you expand with this arrow. This expands the unit. And then within the unit, you have all your chapters and your video quizzes. Now I can expand chapter 1. And then, like I said, learn about. That's the pages we just went through. Now I have practice, and now I have quiz. And you can see this is just reading, like a book, and this is graded, an assignment. Counts towards grade. Nobody has submitted yet. It's worth 20 points, but once you guys are all submitted, I'll know, and then I'll know the average grade. Okay? And then, so if I want to shrink this, it's here. Then I can look at chapter 2. And then, so even though here it says counts towards grade, it doesn't actually. So I don't know why that is. But it's learn about, practice, quiz. Okay. Then I'm done, so I can shrink that. And then my little video quiz, brainstorm, and the writing process. And then I shrink. And then I want to shrink the whole unit 1, because that was week 1. And then this is still week 1. Like I said, week 1 has a little bit more, but you don't have a writing assignment. And then from then on, you're ready to write. So then we go into our rhetorical mode. So we'll have illustration, narration, description. And so it's always going to be learn, practice, quiz. Okay? A checklist before you submit your assignment, and so on. All right, so that's how you navigate. And then, of course, you have your gradebook, but like I said, there's nobody in it so far, so until people have submitted. So I think that's pretty much it. So that's the MindTap side of it. And to get back to the modules, so here, and then the discussions are here. So this, I really encourage you to introduce yourself, and then the video will be here, and then week 1 discussion, right? So you will read, I can show it to you, you'll read what the thing is, and then in the discussion too, always make sure, I think it's a good idea too to sometimes to copy and paste so you don't forget what the questions are, because a lot of time by the time you actually do your thing you forget what was required. So so make sure you read the directions. You could copy and paste and then this one here they ask you which one is better or worse, and then why, what would you remove, what would you add. So I would even, let's say I choose B, I would actually copy and paste that in my reply, and I would say I think paragraph B is the best because, and then what is, show me that you understand what is unity, what is support, what is coherence, right? And then I would remove this because blah, blah, blah. I would add this here because blah, blah, blah. And you can put them another color or whatever. So that really helps keep things clear for me and for your classmates that are answering your, so you put your reply here, and then so you have to have your own original one, and then you have to reply to a classmate, at least one. And then in your reply, like I said in my letter, don't just say, "Oh, good job, John." That doesn't mean anything, you know. So you have to say why you think John did a good job. Why was the unity or the support or the coherence good? And then you see how it's 15 points every week. So 10 points is for your original posting, and then 5 points is for responding to a classmate. Okay? So that's the discussions. Cengage, you don't even see that button. Chat, if you see somebody online, you see me online, you can talk with friends. Assignment is a good place to be. So we all know what your due dates are. So discussion, practice, quiz. So you have them by dates here or by types. So all your practices, all your chapter quizzes, all your video quizzes, all your discussions, and all your papers. Okay. And obviously you want to look at your grades. So I see your grades in here, so I can show you because nobody has submitted any. And that's about all. So I hope this video helps, and hopefully everything will go smoothly and you'll have a good semester. So thank you for listening, and good luck with the class. Bye.